the dumbing down of deep thinking people. For many years, based on Marxist ideology, everything has been broken down into a quest for economic dominance. Most conflicts are rooted in economics. While true that they have as a triggering point economics, but the truth is that religious principle is sometimes stronger than economics. But Marxist ideology refuses to acknowledge this. Religion is just the opiate of the masses, and therefore things have to be broken down into economics. The reason for hatred of peoples comes down to haves and have-nots. The Jews are haves, the Arabs in the West Bank and Gaza are have-nots. Therefore, the Jews are bad because they're the haves. And the so-called Palestinians are good because they're the have-nots. Then people using critical race theory made it whites are oppressors, people of color are the oppressed, the Palestinians are of color and they have to be considered oppressed, and the Jews are the oppressors. How long have the Jews been in dominance in their land, and what percentage of the whole world or the whole area is in Jewish dominance? All of Israel is about the size of the state of New Jersey. Had the Arabs accepted the partition in 1948, it would have been close to about 3,500 to 4,000 square miles. So we now have a state that's twice the size, but is about the size of New Jersey. That's the entire area of the haves. Where are the have-nots? Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Jordan, Egypt, Libya, Iran, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria. Just take a look at that. Look at the size of those countries. The size of those countries is greater than the size of the United States. Maybe almost twice the size of the United States, but certainly larger. How could it be that the Jews are the haves and the Arabs are the have-nots? When the Saudi Arabians and the Kuwaitis have some of the greatest wealth stored in the world. The income per person that existed in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, were higher than any other place in the world. Israel slowly catching up, not because of oil shale or oil revenues, not even because of gas revenues, that hasn't come in yet, but out of the creativity of the population. Population wanted to make things better for themselves and for the world. So Israel's pharmaceutical program, Israel's medicine, disease research is among the best in the world. Israel is the first, or one of the first, in desalination. Large portion of water today is desalinized. It can't be drinkable, but it can be used for watering crops. Israel is the forefront of creating new computer chips, some of the best chips in the world, coming right straight out of Tel Aviv corridor, called Highway 6. Not Tel Aviv, it's from Lod Airport going north for about 80 miles. That corridor, some of the finest, most sophisticated factories creating digital brilliance, brilliant products. Some of the leaders in nanotechnology, some of the leaders in the development of the use of light, all exist within Israel. And those industries have given Israel relative good wealth, a good economy. But the economies of the Emirates, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia outstrip Israel. So this is not one of haves and have-nots. It's a mistake. And as far as your racial profiling, first of all, we don't subjugate the Arabs. The people in Judea, Samaria have engaged in some murderous attacks upon the Jews. You want us to go ahead and make peace with people who vowed to kill us. It doesn't work that way. Mohammed Abbas got his so-called doctorate in denying the Holocaust, that it ever happened. That's the range of his brilliance, his great insight into reality. My father found boxes of soap bars after World War II. With printed signs on the boxes, Reine Judenfats, that means pure Jewish fat. The fat was harvested from the crematoria and then used as soap. But it didn't happen, according to Abbas. There were almost 3 million Jews in Poland. About 250,000 survived the war. What happened to the other 93%? They disappeared. They went up in smoke. Yeah, they went up in smoke. Places like Birkenau, Majdanek, all those other wonderful places that the Nazis had for us. Yeah, we disappeared with good help of the Nazis. But that's Abbas. That's supposed to be a moderate for you. So we're supposed to make peace with someone who denies the Holocaust, who pays extra money to people whose members are in jail for murdering Jews. So he rewards their families on a monthly basis from the monies that he's getting from the United States, from the United Nations. He's paying families of murderers of Jews. We're supposed to make peace with this man. Who are you kidding? Did Neville Chamberlain really make peace with Hitler? Or was it a sellout? And we know the answer. It was a sellout. That's exactly what the world wants Israel to do. Sell ourselves out so we shall disappear. And to the world, we don't want to disappear, and we will not disappear. And I'm saddened for people like Candace Owens. I'm saddened for people who are normally not just good friends, but reasonable people who stand up for principles. I'm saddened that the muddled thinking of the world has them accepting there's such a thing as an occupation. The only occupation that Israel has is on its own territories and its own yeshuvim. There are no Israeli soldiers in Samaria. Maybe there are some in the outposts, and there are less and less of them because they're under tremendous political pressure. But where the PA is, they run their show. There's no occupation there. And where Gaza is, there's no occupation. There hasn't been an Israeli there for close to 18 years. So where's the occupation? The answer is the occupation is where Jews live. That's considered occupied. Because as far as the Muslims are concerned, any land that had once been controlled by Muslims must remain controlled by Muslims. So if you Jews will accept us as your masters and pay us your dhimmi tax and allow us to lord over you and steal your children and rape your women and steal your money when you're not looking, unless you're willing to do that, we will consider your territory occupied, and we will declare a holy war against the occupation. So there you have it. The reason why they want to kill us is because we don't want to be dhimmis anymore. That's so hard to understand. I guess for most of you it is. Because what reasonable person would deny another person their own freedom of self-expression?